Meine Damen und Herren, liebe
Ladies and gentlemen, dear CONVOCO friends, CONVOCO celebrates its 10th anniversary. This year I'm happy about the continuity and that I managed to launch my initiative. I'm happy to see you all here today and that we are CONVOCO together. A very warm welcome to all of you. This year we will focus on inaction. Inaction as the most challenging form of action, a play for a well-measured and targeted approach. Let me please explain what I mean. With CONVOCO, I always felt it was important that we take responsibility today for the world of tomorrow, even if our topic is inaction. We are talking about responsibility, that is, responsibility for what one brings into the world. Inaction as the most challenging form of action. Behind this is the idea that it can take more energy and determination not to act than to act. The focus of our discussion is the kind of inaction needed to achieve more valuable and longer-term goals. It is about taking responsibility for the effect of my actions. The negative impact of one's own actions, expenditure, and consumption should be eliminated. We could label it the liability of the producer and the consumer in the broadest sense of the term. The aim is to be an active member of society, and in doing so, to create space for inaction. For our times have shown that society is reaching its limits. There are more and more of us on this earth. In 2050, the population is estimated to reach 9 billion. Climate change is happening. We are faced with shrinking resources. In addition, there have been some dramatic examples of mismanagement. For example, 32% of the world's food produced each year is thrown away. That is $750 billion of waste. At the same time, every 6 seconds, a child dies from hunger. In light of these facts and developments, we might think that our system is in a crisis. A change in the way we work, do business, and produce things is unavoidable. It is important to allow inaction to become a productive way of acting. Sustainability is the goal we should be aiming for. First and foremost, this requires a change in the way society thinks. A sustainable world should be the greatest good. We demand that our economy combat the danger of over-consuming resources through innovation. Capitalism, in its present form, must be re-examined. Each individual is called upon to take responsibility for our natural capital. Only if our society is prepared to change its behavior can our world continue to exist as we know it. For things to stay the same, they must also change. It is necessary to bring about change at all levels. Moderation is what it's all about. Moderation, i.e., inaction, should be in the focus of societies. The formula less is more has not been observed for a long time. Multitasking is standard practice. Technological evolution, the internet, and emails intensify this trend. The world belongs to those who act, or so it seems. Today, the vita contemplativa, the vita passiva, is no longer an appropriate way of living. We cannot withdraw from the world. A philosophical attitude, the revolution of doing nothing, is no longer an alternative. Instead, our age is characterized by hyperactivity. Today's zeitgeist is about packing more and more into every day and even every night. The same goes for business. More and more, greater quantities, higher turnover, record achievements. A rolling stone gathers no moss. And along with this comes both a loss of meaningfulness and a loss of control over one's own actions. In terms of cultural history, placing excessive demands on oneself is the essence of modernity. In the 1960s, there arose new ethical principles for the way we act in society. This emerged from the feeling that freedom in people's behavior was becoming excessive and that this excess led to freedom itself being constrained. The lawyers among us will know that our civil rights end where the civil rights of others begin. Various laws and regulations have forced people into inaction. For it is not easy to restrain oneself. For example, it is easier for smokers to smoke than not to smoke. This means training in self-control. Since Freud, we've known that it is harder to sublimate and to control oneself than to enjoy life to the full. As a result, we need strategies for sublimation. Such strategies already exist in our culture in the form of the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not. Among the Ten Commandments, 8 are commandments to inaction. General conditions are fixed for our action, and these we call attempts at civilization. This brings us to our topic, namely that inaction should be regarded as the highest form of action. At the same time, inaction creates freedom. It keeps options open. Take capital investment, for example. If you do not invest all your capital, you allow yourself freedom for future investments. We can also see the importance of inaction in the world of literature. In Japan, haikus are the highest form of expression. Through compression, reduction, and revision, a poem is created that is 2 sentences long at most. Anything superfluous is omitted. In our own culture, too, it is poetry that expresses ideas and feelings in a condensed or compressed form. Inaction becomes performance on an epic scale. In this context, it's crucial to consider the economics of communication. The aim is to increase quality. In principle, increasing quality goes hand in hand with reduction. In the case of inaction, therefore, this is a reasoned optimization strategy. We could say that inaction is the condition for acting with appropriate intent. Ladies and gentlemen, in line with these thoughts, I will now refrain from further statements in order to allow for your own ideas. Thank you.
Danke.